Hi guys, it's been a while since we did a video, but we finally left Darien Lake, New York. Right now we're in Somerset, Pennsylvania, doing a little bit of exploring. Anyway, we want to talk a little bit about Darien Lake today, what our thoughts are. And remember, these are just our opinions, and we do have some opinions of others who have returned to Darien Lake year after year. So we have a few others that you're going to hear from as well.
Sure. Do it a little bit differently this time.
Yeah, sure.
So some of the pros that we found in working at Six Flags Darien Lake, and this is up by Buffalo, New York and Niagara Falls. So it's a beautiful area to explore. There's lots to do around there. And you've got to try the beef on wick and wings at Barbill, yeah.
That was really good. That was one of our favorite places.
Yeah, it's in East Aurora. Starting off with the pros of working here is the nice people.
Yeah.
There are a lot of nice people as far as we were working with, as well as the people that live in that area.
And Julie, our supervisor.
Julie was the best.
She was amazing. So if you guys ever go there and you want to work in food service, work in catering or at Beaver Brothers, and you'll work with Julie, she's pretty cool.
Yeah. Another big thing is you get a free hookup site with electric, water, sewer. They do have some sites that are 50 amp. We had a 30 amp site just because we liked that site near the little lake. But that's a big perk, as you all know, for work camping, is having a free site.
And getting paid for every hour you work.
Right, exactly. We made the pay there is $15 an hour. After the first month, we were promoted to leads. I don't know if it was worth it for only 50 cents more an hour.
I think it was mostly so that we were able to open and close the restaurant.
Right.
That was mainly why they made us leads, but that's all right. It was okay.
And to babysit some of the kids that worked there.
Yes, because they found out that we were such good babysitters.
Yeah, anyway, that gets into another part of the cons, but the things to do and see in the area were pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We enjoyed that. Another perk you get is discounts on food and merchandise. You get 40% off of the merchandise there and 50% off the food.
Most food. I think it was most food.
Yeah. They have an employee cafe there where you can get pretty cheap meals. Free tickets and admission. You get free tickets for yourself, going to other parks. Matter of fact, we still have those, don't we?
We do. Mm-hmm.
And then you have free admission to the park all the time. You get free passes for friends and family. So that's a pretty good deal.
It is a good perk, especially if you have family in the area. Being able to bring them in for free, that's pretty nice.
A lot of people who work there because they have family or are from that area, and they have their family over all the time. Another big perk is getting paid every week. So along with the pros of every job comes the negatives. Yeah, the cons. One of the biggest ones was lack of communication.
Yeah.
Between departments, between upper management and the hands-on managers. No one seems to talk to each other.
Part of it.
Yeah, another negative is the scheduling. In our department, we got sometimes our schedule the day before. Usually, sometimes we'd have it up to 1 week at a time, but a lot of times we didn't know until just a couple of days or the day before we actually had to work. We found a lot of things that were run down in Darien Lake. The roofs were in disrepair, a lot of them. Mm-hmm. The equipment was unacceptable to even use during your work. I mean, you need a lot of these pieces of equipment to do your job, and it didn't seem to be a big deal to the management. Kids as supervisors. To us, kids don't have life experience to be managing people, especially ones that are 3 times their age.
Well, and it's not just that. A lot of them that were made leads is what they call them.
Some of them were supervisors.
Or supervisors, yeah. We had one girl that did turn into a supervisor while we were there. And it's just, yeah, she doesn't have the life experience.
Didn't know how to deal with people.
They don't, and they're not hard workers.
Right.
You know, they don't.
We saw, there was a couple of people that were hard workers.
There were a few that were really good. But then there was a couple that just, you know, they're leads and they're supposed to be setting examples, and they're setting examples of, oh, hey, let's sit on the countertop while we should be, you know, cleaning or assisting our customers. And they'll just stand there, play on their phone, sit down in the booths, you know, whatever, or disappear.
Yeah.
For an hour at a time. Just disappear. And then somebody says, oh, where's so-and-so? Oh, am I supposed to be babysitting them?
And it happens a lot of places too. I mean, they paid us an extra 50 cents an hour. To us, wasn't even worth it. To babysit some of these people. But they're making as much or more than you are as a supervisor.
When we do a job, we just expect others to do the job the way that they're supposed to, and not just slack off and expect other people to perform for them.
Right.
And there were days that we went home after working 12 or 15-hour days. We go home exhausted.
That's the way. We put into every work camping job. When we do a job, we want to do it right and do the best job we can.
We just want to make a disclaimer. This is just our opinion. We worked food and beverage, and more specifically, we worked catering and Beaver Brothers. And if you work in that area, again, you get to work with Julie, who is an amazing supervisor.
She made it
all worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she made it all worth it. She's just amazing.
The other one thing is too is a pretty good distance from the campground, the employee campground, to the actual park, and then depending on where you are in the park, you're going to have to do a lot of walking. Fortunately for us, we had our electric bikes with us, and we rode them
every day.
So we have a lot of other people too that we talked to and did a little question and answer session with. So we'll put how they felt about working here as well. We got about 38 hours a week. You want to go over that, the financial part?
Sure, but I just want to say first, we did choose food and beverage because we were hoping that we would get tips. So, you know, by working food and beverage, I was trying to plan on bartending. I didn't get to bartend a whole lot. I averaged about $400 a month in tips because I might have worked just 5 or 6 days out of the entire month. Yeah. And some of those days were Tuesdays when we were closed, so we didn't get a lot of traffic at all. So like we said before, we did get $15.50 an hour, and we had an average of 38 hours a week. Our total wages were $18,333. Our tips were $1,800, making it $20,130 that we made.
That's in 4.5 months.
Yes. So that comes out to about $44.74 a month. Now we do want to compare that to our previous job at Bolin. So when we worked in Bolin, of course, we made about $6,000 a month. So a significant difference there. And
also Lone Fir Resort, we worked at last summer, where we were able to get tips there, and we averaged about $6,500 a month working there. That's including tips and everything. So we were kind of disappointed in the money we were making at Darien Lake. Now, granted, 38 hours was a lot more than some people got.
Right.
You have to work at least 30 hours a week to get your free site. But there was some people that got like 20, 25 hours a week, and that's all they got.
If that.
Now, some people might be perfectly happy with that, and this might be the job for you, because you do get a free site, and the pay is pretty good per hour.
We always want at least 35 hours. 40 is preferable to us, because we're not retired.
I was surprised actually to learn that we did average 38 hours a week there.
Yeah. Well, that's because some weeks we had a lot more hours.
Yeah.
There were some weeks where we had, lucky if we got 20 hours in the very beginning.
Well, then we ended up with, we had 1 week that was almost 58 hours.
Right.
I think that was during like 4th of July or something.
Yeah. And also, some of those days that we worked, there were a few days where we worked 15-hour days. And and those kicked our butts.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was either feast or famine sometimes.
Right. And so we only worked there. This was our first year, of course.
Yep.
And we did do some interviews with some other people who have worked there. You know, hopefully some of these interviews that we did will help you if you're thinking about going to Darien Lake.
We still had a good experience there.
We
I
did
should
have
say.
a good experience there.
Would we go back?
Probably not.
Probably not. No.
There's too many other places to go.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be fair.
There's too many places to go.
So if you want to just hang out here for a bit, watch our videos or our interviews that we had with our other co-workers, and hey, if you're interested in applying at Darien Lake, it's a pretty simple process.
Yeah. Yep. And we'll leave a link to Darien Lake in the description below.
We sure will.
We're going to talk with Mary Beth today about her experience at Darien Lake, Six Flags. Mary Beth, how long have you been work camping?
6 years.
6 years? And how many years have you been here?
6 years.
Okay. So what jobs have you done here?
Dispatching in the camping office. I've been there right since day one.
Oh, okay.
They started it and I've been there.
So it must be a pretty good job. You've been there 6 years and you're still going
I
for it.
like my job. I do like my job, but this year it's been a little challenging.
So what's the best thing about your job?
The best thing about my job is I'm not having to deal with the public so much. I'm behind the desk.
So what's the worst thing about your job?
The worst thing about my job is the hours and pay that, you know, this year is probably the worst year I've seen.
Why is that?
Because they cut the park's hours down and they didn't start when they told us that we could. They said it was going to be limited hours, but limited hours before was you'd still work at least 20 hours. We didn't get started until Memorial Day this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then once Memorial Day started, then we started getting more hours.
Are you going to be returning next year, as far as you know right now?
I don't want to commit to anything, but I'm telling them I am going to come. But
Oh, okay.
A lot of it depends on, you know, the price of gas and
Of course.
actually a couple other issues that have gone on this year that I'm not real keen on.
So,
Happy with.
for the last 6 years, what kept you coming back?
I guess it was fun working at Darien Lake, and actually my family is in the area, so that was definitely a positive. That's one of the main reasons we come back too.
And you made some great friends here.
I made lots of good friends here, work camping friends, and good.
We hear that from a lot of people.
Yes, we do.
So anything else you'd like to share about working here?
The road coming into Apple Lake is horrendous. It's like the worst I've seen it.
Yeah, Apple Lake is the campground area that we live in.
Yes, that all the workers live in.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the infrastructure needs to be replaced. We need roof work done on many of the buildings.
Well,
move on.
Well, thanks for coming on and give us your opinion about working here.
Okay. All right.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
So we're with Dan Fick today, and he's going to tell us his experience about working at Darien Lake, the Six Flags. Dan,
Yes.
thanks for coming on with us today.
Oh, no problem.
How many years have you been work camping?
This is our first experience with work camping.
What job did you do here?
I worked in the catering department, cooking on the grill. Mainly.
Yeah. Well, I know
Got
that
to
that
do
was
it.
a fact because he worked with me all the time.
Got to do a little bit of the handing out the food. That's about all. I spent 3 mornings working at Beaver Brothers with the breakfast, helping serve breakfast.
So between those two jobs, which one did you like best?
I like the catering the best.
And why did you like that the best?
Well, I got better instructions on what to do.
Oh, okay.
My lead person gave me better instructions. Of course, I'm talking to the lead person here. But anyway, it was true. You gave better instructions on what you needed to do. And at Beaver Brothers, they were younger people, and they just kind of expected me to know, I guess. I'm not sure.
Well, that's probably one of our complaints here is the training they give you is not that stellar.
Yeah.
So working here at Darien Lake and Six Flags, what was the best thing that you thought about this job?
About the job, the people who are supervisors are very hands-on people. They will get in there and work with you.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just you go do this and you go do that, but they will get in there and work with you.
Uh-huh. And what do you think was the worst thing about working here?
I think it's communication between different people in the park. I keep going back to thinking about the one time that we put together a party and nobody had told us that they had canceled it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was my biggest. Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
Do you think you'll ever be coming back here?
Probably not, because our main reason for going into work camping is to get to go to different parts of the country. And we were kind of told we would be working 30 hours a week here, and neither one of us ever worked. I did 1 week, 30 hours. My wife never got 30 hours a week, but so we got to go and explore the area quite extensively.
Yeah.
And it was a really good, in the fact that we got to see so many things, and so we kind of it's down toward September now, and started running out of places to go see.
Yeah, we're with you on that. This is a beautiful area, lots to see in the area, and we've enjoyed that aspect as well. Anything else to share about your first work camping experience being here?
Well, I wouldn't tell people not to come, because let me tell you, from coming from Kansas, and we talked back with people there, and they were over 100 degrees almost all summer long, and that's one of their claims to fame in this area, is due to the fact that the Lake Erie is close by, that they have never ever reached 100 degrees in this area, and it was cool and comfortable. Most of the time we did have a few pretty, what I would call, warm, humid days.
Yeah.
Compared to, people around here were in meltdown mode, but to me it was a semi-hot, humid day.
Especially being on the grill all day.
Yeah, when I was on the grill, so those were kind of rough days. But it's pretty, and there's lots of things to see in the area, so don't shy away from the place.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on and sharing your experience with us.
No problem.
So we have Hank with us today. We're going to find out what his experience has been like working at Six Flags Darien Lake. So Hank, how many years have you been work camping?
This is my 6th year.
6 years? And how many years have you worked here at Six Flags Darien Lake?
6 years.
And what jobs have you done here over those 6 years?
I started out on the rides, then I went to landscaping, did landscape for 2 years, then went to park services for 3. This year I decided to try catering.
So what has been your favorite job of those jobs?
Park services. It would give me plenty of freedom to, to walk around, do my job, didn't have to stay in one spot, and go around, empty garbage, sweep garbage. Yeah, I liked it because you could always see your progress.
Okay. So how'd you like catering this year?
Good. I would like to add more hours.
Uh-huh.
But I always had the thing, I'd never mess with other people's food.
So, what's the best thing that you found about working here at Six Flags?
Free living is the main thing.
Oh, free campsite and everything?
Yeah. But the freedom, I mean, we can come and walk the park anytime we want. Like if I get, always let me know I got mail. I don't have to go down and do all the time. All I do, but
That has been pretty nice.
yeah, you know, treat us pretty good. Every once in a while we get free pizza or something like that, but I don't know.
You said something about getting more hours this year.
Yeah, I would like to miss that. I think I should be able to get anywhere between 37 and 40 hours a week, and I wasn't getting that this year.
Right.
I wished I would have.
Do you know how many average hours you made a week this year?
Yeah, probably about average. That'd be pretty close to 25.
So, what you plan on coming back next year?
The plans aren't. I haven't made really any plans, but I don't plan on it. But who knows? That's what I said last year.
So you weren't planning on coming back this year?
No.
Well, I'm glad you did, because it was nice to meet you.
But I.
Nice to work with you. So what keeps you coming back?
Yeah, I think it's just the idea. It's a job. Something that I've been doing, you know. And you get to live here for nothing. And we got to give them 30 hours a week. That's all we have to give them.
Anything else you'd like to add?
What? I think for this park, in the area it is, it has to have the international students in working. And it's a good idea that Six Flags gives them a chance to work.
Yeah, it is a good thing to have the international students. We had quite a few from Jamaica this year. We had some from Taiwan, some from Ecuador, I believe.
Georgia.
Turkey.
Oh yeah, Turkey, yeah, and Georgia. Okay, well thanks for sharing your experiences with our viewers. Hello everyone, today we have Kelly with us. She's going to tell us about her experience working here at Six Flags Darien Lake.
Woo-hoo.
So Kelly, how many years have you been work camping?
5 years.
5 years. Same as us. And how many years have you worked here at Six Flags Darien Lake?
And this was our first year. We were supposed to come up in 2020, but COVID.
Right. So, what job do you do here?
I was bartender at Beaver Brothers.
Okay. Is that the only job you had?
No, I also worked in catering a couple days, and I did the food buffet and the register in Beaver Brothers as well.
Okay. So, your job, what did you like most about it?
I liked getting to talk to a lot of customers and being back in the bar position, which is where I started my career, basically, in bartending and hospitality.
Okay.
It's always comfortable for me.
Mm-hmm. What was the worst thing about your job?
The worst thing about my job was listening to people complain about all the stuff that Darien Lake used to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that were like, why don't you stay open till 10:30? Sorry, this is a family-friendly bar.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
So, is this somewhere you'd come back to again?
Yes.
What would make you come back to this job?
I liked the people that I worked with. I liked the area here. I liked my neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
The rate of pay is pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Free site, always plus.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about the job or about working here?
There are some good benefits. You do get to go into the theme park on your days off if you'd like to do that. They also give you Six Flags tickets to go across the country. So we have passes and we're going to get to use them in Texas. They have reciprocity with Cedar Fair ones, so unfortunately we don't have time to go there while we're working, but that would have been a nice benefit.
It's kind of a long distance from here, right?
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger, driving 3 hours to a theme park wouldn't be a problem. Nowadays, it's like, ugh.
So how does this compare with other jobs that you've had?
Well, like a lot of other jobs, there was very limited training, so you kind of got thrown to the wolves right at the beginning. It wasn't as hard as a lot of jobs. Management was not very involved, so you were kind of relying on yourself to get things done the correct way. I would say overall it rates pretty high up in work camping gigs.
Okay. Well, thanks very much for coming on and sharing your experience with our viewers.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, so much for watching.
Thanks for watching as usual. Sorry we haven't been putting out that many videos, but hopefully you'll get back on track soon.
Yes.
We're making our way back down to North Carolina to visit family, and then we have a job in Sanford, Florida at the mall working for Big Sports Card. And so
that should give us time to get caught up on our videos.
Hopefully. Hopefully we're busy though.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Anyway, thanks guys so much for watching. Until next time.
Bye now.
Bye.
One love, one earth. Let's get together and feel alright.
Alright.
One love, one earth. Let's get together